Hi, Church. Pastor Jeff here with another Trinity check-in. I am back from a few days off, and I am so grateful to Catherine Ebling Frazier for filling in last Sunday in the pulpit. I've heard you all loved her, too. I got to go to Wichita, my hometown, to take the kids to visit Grandpa Slater for a few days on LPS fall break, and it was very nice. Today, for this video, I want to bring together two thoughts that have been in my head. While I was in Wichita, I got to visit what I firmly and totally unbiased believe to be the best bookstore anywhere. Now, for the record, Novel Idea here in Lincoln and Bluestem, for that matter, are close seconds. But Eighth Day Books in Wichita is just fantastic. It is huge. It is a locally owned, of course. It is about half religious books, I would say, and half the poetry section is huge. History, there are niche things that you'll never find anywhere else there. But among its charms is that the owner is especially fond of the inkwells. Now, those were a group of intellectuals and writers in England that included J.R.R. Tolkien and C.S. Lewis, and he's got memorabilia and a whole section dedicated to them. The kids' area down in the basement is called the Hobbit Hole and is especially decorated in a Tolkien-type way. And it made me think of one of my favorite quotes from Lord of the Rings. This is in both the book and the movie. Hopefully you'll recognize it. But it may not be a quote that stuck out to you, personal to me. But they're in the mines of Moria, the party is, in the dark, and they're trying to decide, do they take the path to the left or the right? Gandalf, the wise one, says, "When in doubt, always follow your nose." And so they take the path that has the better smell. That quote has always spoken to me for a number of reasons. For one, I have trouble making up my mind. I also tend to be very intuitive, I think, with my gut, and learning to trust my gut has been part of it, and I think the Holy Spirit is part of it too. As you live into the Christian life, you begin to sense the movement of God around you. It's a metaphor, not literal smell, but you might describe it as learning to follow one's nose for the Holy Spirit. So that's always appealed to me, that quote, "When in doubt, always follow your nose." That was in my head, having gotten to go to Eighth Day Books this weekend. Today, I'm working on the Do Unto Others series and working on the next couple of sermons in it. So we've done kindness, we've done respect, and we're about to do love. We have a special song to go with love, maybe not quite as good as R-E-S-P-E-C-T was, but hopefully close. And then just this morning, I wrote the first draft of the next week, which is on humility. I had this visit to Eighth Day Books in my head, and I thought to myself, all of these topics that are in this Do Unto Others series smell good. There's something about the idea of being kind, even when someone doesn't earn it, that smells good. There's something about extending respect, even when you don't fully understand someone's story, that smells good. Now, on the other side, if you do the opposite of those things, whenever you're unkind to somebody and it leaves your shoulders tense afterwards, or not even when you're unkind to them, if you simply fail to be kind, if you simply pass by flat when you know you could have been kind, there's still something about it that just kind of feels like that, isn't there? When we extend love to people, or perhaps better said this way, when we allow God's example of love to shape ours, it smells good. It smells like the path that's right to take, does it not? In our world right now, there are so many examples, mostly media, taking the wrong path. You scroll through a social media feed and you see a post that chose the wrong path. Quite frankly, judging those posts doesn't feel very good, does it? Perhaps one way to frame what we're learning from this Do Unto Others series is to learn to follow our nose, to learn to sense in that area that feels more God-like, that area that to sense the direction where the Holy Spirit is, and learn to walk that way a little bit better ourselves. We can't change the behavior of others, of course, but true change in the world begins with us. That's why we take the path to which our nose leads us. Anyway, that's what I've been thinking about. The two thoughts coming together this morning. This week, like I say, we're going to be doing love. Before that, though, tonight is the beginning of Ignite. We have our Christmas children's musicals rehearsal starting. I'm here in the gathering area, so I'm pointing. We also have the short-term classes. A confirmation begins tonight for the kids. My class, Pastor Jeff uses his doctorate, is actually starting next week, so come back for that. And in the meantime, I hope you all will engage and enjoy it, but most of all, I hope you'll follow your nose. I will see you soon, church.